excited after going 2 games without a win. They are back on the winning run, and this would be a good one for them. There you see their captain as well, giving thanks to God Almighty, I assume. The Medeama players are very, very excited, and for the Heart of Folk players, not what they expected, going all the way to Takwa and coming back to Accra without a point. That is painful for them. 3 consecutive defeats for the Phobians. Things do not look good for Abubakar Ouattara. My name is Mutala Yakubu, still here with Francis Aboyibo Blackgates and, of course, Josiah Okokwe. Francis, Heart of Folk, adventure to Takwa ended on a bad note for them. They are coming back to Accra without any points.
Well, it's all about game management. If you look at what Heart of Folk have done in the first half, if they were to continue with that, I don't think Medeama would have broken them down. But they threw everything out of the window and they came back into the second half with a different approach. And it backfired in grand style. Medeama basically put brakes on them and managed to stifle the 2 goals out of them to win the game on the afternoon. It's all about what you do in the attacking side of the pitch. That's the most important thing in football. But with this Hearts of Folk team, once again, you look at the goals they've conceded, especially the first one, and you say that the goalkeeper, Sharif, once again, people will question his ability to play for this club if he's not yet ready. Because, yes, take nothing away from the goal scorer, Amwa. He struck that with so much power, but the goalkeeper should have been doing better on that particular occasion. It's like
Do you think he was unsighted?
He was unsighted, but for one, his reaction on slow-mo speaks volumes. You question whether he has given up when the ball was even approaching him, because his positioning and the way he reacted to the ball is not the best. If you've watched this game for some time, you could tell. But from this angle, you say that you take nothing away from the strike. It was a brilliant strike.
But Francis, these are ones that goalkeepers do not save.
No, sometimes we've seen
had power, he had precision, he had everything.
Yeah, we've seen the goalkeeper Felix Che on one occasion. He pulled off a save in this particular game. But first and foremost, the wall wasn't constructed properly. The wall broke. But the strike, you put it at the top of his foot, which we call the lacy, so much power, accuracy, pinpoint. But the goalkeeper, on this particular frame, you should look at how he reacted. He should have reacted properly. But because you can't go with one hand. Look at this. When he was standing before the ball got struck, that was where the ball came to.
Looking at the
you should go
goal,
with both hands,
again,
not
on
one
replay,
hand.
It seems that he had even moved from the direction that the ball was coming.
Because when he stood before the ball got struck, was where the ball passed. But for him to look at this ball and just go with one hand this way, it's a poor and a bad technique on his part. And another goalkeeper trainer will look at this again and advise. See, he moved to where the wall, where he constructed the wall. Yeah. And it's a bad position on his part. But hey, he struck that so cleanly and he got them a decent goal on that particular occasion. It's a cracking goal.
Josiah, these are ones that goalkeepers find it difficult to pull off saves. But you look at that again and you could see Shaib had moved from where the ball was coming at. If he had stood still, there he could have easily saved that one.
Mutala, believe that every goalkeeper or any goalkeeper of Premier League standard should be saving that ball, regardless. If whoever that shot was coming from, at least make a better effort than what we saw over there, because that effort was just, I don't know, it was just below average effort for me from Sharif. And there's one thing synonymous with Accra Hearts of Folk goalkeepers. They all are confident. Because how do you construct such a wall? And, sometimes profiling of set-piece takers is very, very key. You ask yourself, does Amwa have what it takes to bend that ball over the wall? No, sometimes this goes beyond.
The distance was even too short for him to get that ball over the wall. So you needed just a long ball to block him.
You should know that he's a defender. And the reason why you allow a defender to take such a set piece is because he'll be going for power.
Yeah.
And look at the reaction of Glido Tanga.
He knows. That's what they are telling him. The wall will do his job. So just stand there, just pick your spot, stand there and try and get some. You don't go. He went for power and he went with one hand. You can't convince me you're trying to save that ball.
He can't convince you he was trying to save that. But he made an effort.
Not the effort with one hand, with that shot.
But Mutala, if you look at the slow-mo, like what they show, the first angle, just look at Salim Adams, look at Glido Tanga. When they turned, they knew that this is a goalkeeping error. Even though he struck the ball clean. Look, you just watch. After the ball zipped past them, and blitz past the goalkeeper. Just look at the wall. Look at Glido Tanga. Look at the reaction. And
But why are you not
all of them
also
are blaming
blaming
the
the wall
goalkeeper.
for not doing the job? They never jumped.
The goalkeeper.
The wall never jumped.
And the ball never went over.
It went
the
through
ball,
them.
No, it didn't go through them. It went the
past
player
them.
just targeted where the space was. So once you've constructed the wall, you know the space left is yours.
So if the wall had gone up, the
It's
wall
not
would have
going up
blocked the
because
ball.
it didn't go over the ball.
It went
over
around the
wall. It
like,
was just
it flashed past
beside
the wall.
If we can get that
It didn't
again.
go over the wall. The ball wasn't.
I think
it went through the wall.
It
wasn't
flashed
through
past the wall.
It was just around it, just wherever it wasn't. It didn't go over the wall, whatsoever, and that's why the players were furious because they don't have. That's why I asked. Does Amwa have what it takes, the technique to bend that one over the wall? No, he doesn't.
He was
have
always
it.
going to go for
He
power.
was going to go for power because he's a centre back. He's going to go for power. I quite remember this Chelsea player who used to play
Ivanovic.
Ivanovic. Just name it. So look at that. How did that?
The ball went past the wall. It didn't go over.
He
the
just
wall.
took a step and later realized the ball was coming, heading towards the direction where he was initially. You just look at the player's positioning. This is not a position of a player who will be going for technique. He was definitely going to go for
Mutala seen here.
and just look at where the ball
See,
just went.
watch.
The ball went through the wall because the wall just
look
couldn't
at that.
do its
Look
job.
across the
It
face
was
of the wall.
Listen.
It flashed across
It
the
was the
face.
face of the, and that was the last man.
It was Glido Tanga that turned its back, and the ball
Mutala,
went
if it
past
went
him.
through the wall, then it should be getting to where was it Sharif's position.
Mutala, I
If
agree.
the ball went through the wall, that should be
Jose, I agree with Mutala. If you look at it, the ball, the way he constructed the turn by Glido Tanga allowed the ball to flash past his direction.
Yeah.
And the goalkeeper moved towards where he constructed. I don't know whether he was anticipating that the player is going to aim at that angle.
That angle,
And the
okay.
ball flew past him. But take nothing away from this goal. It's a cracking goal. He struck with so much power. And yes, as much as we are blaming the goalkeeper
So that
on
ball
this
never
occasion.
went through the wall.
No, it didn't go
Yes,
through the
no,
wall.
not through the wall.
Okay, so this is a better angle for us to see if it went through the wall or not. So this is where he struck the ball.
That's it. It never went through the wall.
It's not
The
too
wall.
clear.
It's not through
Here,
the wall.
okay,
That's-
here,
you can
on
take
this
it
frame,
from
you will
this
see it
reverse
proper.
angle. Just look at that. If it went, and just look at it's Afrani and Otanga.
Yeah.
And just look at their positioning now. If it
Mutala,
no,
It went straight through Afrani, Afrani, and
in between Afrani and
Afrani and Otanga.
Yes,
So
but the goalkeeper should have seen this. Mutala, that's the problem.
you said that he anticipated that the ball
You
was
s-
going to the other
and that-
side. So the wall didn't do a job as well. So I don't know why Otanga was actually blaming it. He was blaming the
It's
goalkeeper.
one thing for the wall to do his job. It's another thing for the goalkeeper to safeguard the post.
Yeah.
It's not two different things.
No, but-
so if you are there because once the ball goes through the wall, you should be the one getting your hands. You know, and that's what I'm saying. His attempt to even save it
But
was
Mutala,
encouraging.
the big question is, where will Hasafo go from here? Would they have the metal or the power to be able to put this goalkeeper back into the goalpost again?
So he
the third
committed an error against Baby and
Gold
Gold
Stars.
Stars. It resulted in a defeat. This one is not solely on him, but let's move on. Then the second goal came. I mean, from a long distance, I expected him to dive with that one.
Mutala, it was a catastrophe in central midfield. Here, you ask question about Glido Tanga. You ask question about Salim Adams, the two central midfielders. Who was the one in charge of marking Aban, the goal scorer? Because when he had the ball in central, it was like out of ball retention. They won the ball back in central midfield. And around us, look here. Where was the two central? You can't give this space to a player with this cultured left foot. He will kill you. And he tapped the ball about 3 times before he put his laces through the end. He picked his spot, picked his moment, and let fly. And it was always going to be extremely difficult for the goalkeeper. They won the ball back in central midfield. And the big question, where was Salim? Where was Glido Tanga? And Befi, who was closer to the player, didn't manage to salvage the situation. He was supposed to sniff danger and close him down. Look at Befi here.
Yeah.
With the red boots. Let's go. Befi.
So
I don't know why Befi was running backwards. You understand? They should roll it. Befi was supposed to see the danger and get close. But look at Befi here. He keeps running backwards and thereby opening up the space in central midfield for Alban. And at this particular moment, it was all set for him.
Okay.
Pick your spot, pick your moment, believe in yourself, and let fly. And he did that with so much accuracy and power. And the moment the ball left his boot, it was destined to hit the back of the net. Yet again, you question the position of the goalkeeper. If he could have pulled off a save. Yes, he would try, but I will credit this goal to the central midfielders as a howler from them. They should have been doing better on that particular occasion.
Josiah, once Aban got the ball and he saw that there's space in front of him, all he had to do was unleash one. And he already had in mind what he wanted to do. So even if you look at how he even struck the ball, he had his eye on the ball rather than the goalkeeper. I believe he had already seen the position of goalkeeper Shayub.
Exactly, but then I think too much space, and the tracking down of Aban was just poorly done. But then I wouldn't blame Befi because there was another player trying to make a run, and Befi would always have to track the run because he is a right back, so he's always going to track the run of that player. But then you ask about the central midfield pair and also the double pivot role where you have Afrani playing there and then also Gledu Tanga playing in that position. This is where you need to provide some cover and shield for your centre backs. And it's all about smartness sometimes. But our football goes just beyond trying to tackle and all that. Sometimes positioning is very, very key. And once he took the ball, you could see the number of steps he had to take. And at that point, I think most of the Hearts of Oak players were late on arrival. Just count them. 1, 2, 3, and look at Ampedu.
Yeah.
Ampedu was also, I don't know if he was just whatever he was doing, but just look. See, he was trying to drift away from them, and they were also drifting further away from him.
Yeah.
So they were just giving him space.
But on your earlier submission on Befi, look, Befi ran into a no man's land. The player off his shoulders is here. But he didn't even track the player.
It's not about tracking, but it's about closing the angle on that player.
Josiah, my question is, where is the biggest danger at in the moment? Because the player in the 47 shirt was not really closer to the goal.
But then Aban could have released that ball to that player. And Befi's position would mean that he would go further wide than playing it safely to him because he tries to narrow that angle. And just look at that. I think it's the organization
on the frozen screen is 5 against 3, 5 against 4.
It's more about the organization. That's what I'm saying. Befi only tried to narrow the angle for the player because he knows there's a player trying to make a run. And at this point, it will be very difficult for him to catch up with that player. So all you do is to try and narrow that angle for that player. So he tries to nullify that pass to whoever is there. So it's just the organization of
that
the centre back.
Exactly.
So it's the centre back positioning and also the position of the double pivot for them. That's Afrani.
But they were in
no man's land. And just look at the left back in Ampedu. Look at where he was. So it's just the organization for Arsenal because at this point, if it was a different player who had an eye for a pass instead of a goal, he would have just picked up the last player, making that run over there, and that's also danger for them. So it's just poor organization at the back.
Do you think he caught the goalkeeper by surprise?
Yes.
I think
because he was a long way out.
Should also have done better. Proximity. See, distance. Sometimes, make an effort. And your effort should be convincing. That's my problem. You don't, because these are balls you should be saving. Yes, there was so much power. The goalkeeper didn't think. Then again, you talk about confidence. The goalkeeper didn't even have the right the confidence to know that he could shoot and I could just move and save it. At least a dive or something. And that is the problem with Hearts of Oak. That department has really caused them this season.
Francis, 2-0 to Hearts of Oak. It was game done and dusted for Medeama. I'm sure Hearts of Oak would hit themselves hard with this, especially looking at that first half performance where it was almost a 50-50 with Medeama. They were hoping that at least they'll get something from this game. Last season they won there, this time a painful defeat for them, and it pushes them further down the league table.
Yeah, to push them further, and this has elevated Medeama to 5th on the league table. That tells you how 3 points in the league.
In the Ghana Premier League, 3 points is a goal.
It takes you up there. And if you look at the results that have reshuffled in the last 10 minutes of the Ghana Premier League, speaks volume. And if you look at what Hearts of Oak are doing, they'll come back to Accra and play against Karela United. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be another tough team again to play against. Where does Hearts of Oak go from here? You look at what they've done in the first half, positive. In the second half, everything, they were all over the place. The approach to games is something that the players need to know. They have to realize that they are playing for one of the biggest teams in the country. And they can't just play in phases or in patches. They have to play consistently in the games and give out decent performances across. Because if you play like the way you play today, it doesn't speak well of you as players. And at the end of the 90 minutes, look at the players in camera. Some of them were even smiling. No, you've got to take it into your stride. Let it dawn on you that no, this is not the team I grew up supporting, because I know almost all the players have grew up supporting either Hearts of Oak or Kumasi Asante or their local team that they've seen. And you know that Growing up, you watch Bernard Dombote, Emmanuel Osekufor, Ishmaelado and Co. The way they play for Hearts of Oak, Issa Ahmed, Edmond Osu and Sa, all of them played for Kotoko and Dosa. So you've got to step up and then play properly. This is not the Hearts of Oak character. This is not the Hearts of Oak materials that we are seeing. Sheriff Shuaib, I don't know if they've quickened his elevation to the first team, because this is not a Hearts of Oak material based on what I've seen.
Well, with the 3 games that Hearts of Oak have lost, Samatex, Baby Gold Stars, and this game in particular, would you put it down to a tactical deficiency in the part of Abubakar? Because he usually admits when things do not go well. But with the 3 games that you've won, would you say this is pure tactical error that the coach made?
Well, it would be very, very difficult to just, lay all the blames on the doorsteps of the head coach. Yes, he's responsible for player selection. He's responsible for, the tactics they deploy on the day. He's responsible for quite a number of things on the day. But then I would say, injuries has been one. I think that Dennis Kosa red card has really cost Hearts of Oak a lot, in that 3-game span. And you can see how they are struggling at that left back position because there's no consistency over there. They are lacking quality. I'm not saying Ampedu doesn't have quality, but you would only get the best out of Ampedu when he's playing at his natural right back position. And you also get the best from that.
Honestly, I thought Levintus Atta was.
I even thought Levintus Atta was going to play in that. It looked more like a 3-back system for me because you had 3 central defenders playing or starting for Hearts of Oak this afternoon. Now, Franny was pushed further forward to join Glido Tanga in that double pivot position. I think Mutala, we just have to, hit the nail right on the head and just call a spade a spade. Hearts of Oak will have to go out there and get a goalkeeper that befits their status. Yeah. As a big club, as a giant. The goalkeeping role has really cost them a lot this season.
That is huge there. Richard Atta was on the bench for Hearts of Oak and he didn't get a shot in this one. So let's go back to the Akun Park after the game where Medeama won by 2-0. And I'm sure Coach Neboska Capo is super delighted.
Hi, Coach. Was it the kind of performance you were expecting from your boys? Was it the kind of performance you were expecting from your boys?
This match was very tough, especially first half, maybe because of pressure, because we lost 2 matches. This is always something what is very, very difficult for players to start match. We made some mistakes in when we build our actions, some basic mistakes, but after we little calm down, and after this we achieve good performance, and this is, I believe, this is the reason why we scored 2 goals and win this match.
And your tactical decisions seem to have worked positively. You brought in Adoma on the right wing and brought Jack Basu into the midfield, and you started dominating the game.
And this is something what is normal in football. Some players who come inside, they always try to fix some things what players who they changed didn't work well. This is normal in football. Also Lomote and Enu, they did good work. They tried everything what is inside their possibilities to work for our team, and also this is something what is okay. Players who changed, Japazu and Adoma did well, and I'm satisfied. I'm also not disappointed how some players work. This is normal in football.
How about that goal scored by Amwa? Does he practice that at training?
Everything what is coming here there. This is something what is part of our training sessions, and I hope he will continue with this.
You are playing another home game against Legon City here. What's going to be the approach?
Yeah, this is something in this moment. We want a little calm down and reach, how I like to say, reach fresh brain for approach this game. We also will go to win this match. This is very important for us. I hope we will achieve better performance after this victory. This is something what we need to confirm our good work and our good performance, and I hope on next match we will be better.
Now you got 36 points on the 5th position of the league log. The league leaders have 45 points. They lost today. My question finally is, will Medeama defend the title?
Thank you very much, because you gave me result. I didn't know this. I told before match, I always believe. I am person who always believe. I am person who never give up. Really, if 1 second is in our matches, I will believe we can do always better. And I am someone who is always ready to fight for a brighter future.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Hi, coach. Another defeat for your side. 3 consecutive defeats for Hearts of Oak. How would you describe this game?
Yeah, it was a very difficult, but we played so well in the first half. Yeah, we had a lot of chances. We created a lot of free kicks around. They score us with the free kicks, right? And we had the same. But we didn't take that chance,
Nothing seemed to be working. How does the technical team explain these recent setbacks?
No, it's a big worry to us, We have to go back and do a lot of corrections, because in the second half, the boys didn't play according to the coach game plan, You can see in the first half, we played so well. In the second half, I don't know what is going on. But there's something that I want to say, What happened after the first half? GFA must look at. How come a bank roller after the first half will go inside the, how do you call it, referee's dressing room? Come and see how they did there, the intimidation and all that. It's not fair. For me, this is not football. You can see the referee changed. It changed completely in the second half.
You don't admit Medeama were the better side in the second half?
Oh, yes. No, the second half, yes. But what happened on our side too?
They scored genuine goals against your team.
I know, yeah, they scored, but what about the referee? Compare the first half and the second half.
That is not my call, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you go home next against Karela. How do you intend to respond to these successive defeats?
No, not. We have to go back and do a lot of correction and make sure we are not going to lose any game again. Yes, we have to go back and do that. This is the time that we have to stand on our feet and do a lot of corrections if really we want to do something this league.
Hamza is not scoring anymore, and it looks like if Hamza is not scoring, you're not winning games.
Yeah, that's football. You can't score in all the matches. You can't score in all the matches. That's how it is. So we take it like that.
Better luck next time.
Thank you.
Man of the match, congratulations.
Thank you.
Who game the same?
Game me then a very nice game because 2 big clubs. So definitely I think game any easy game. So a nice game. So I'm going to me I can found.
Namunim some Bashar to work.
Oh yeah, name say bit much as of because I lose 2 matches on a row. So SBO home especially I answer to few matches and machines. Yeah, very optimistic say a bit maybe the match.
And for you personally, tell me about the goal.
I go in there, I do I can say I said that I remember because me I guess I'm telling you me who say like I'm shooting range into me bar. Me to me actually, I'm telling my boy.
Danny, I'm showing through in China after this performance.
But the bit my catch at a man again for and say, Omunya would say, and was supporting us. Now the chance to say, Beba.
Yes, this summer text about draw. They say, Usha League table now, Maba fit. But Magic League,
Yeah, a bit Magic League. Still now, I often say a bit Magic League.
I'm sure this win has given Medeama some confidence that they can retain their title because they are now not far away from the top where Samatex are lying there. A few weeks back, I'm sure they might have thought that this was going to be a mission impossible, but then they believe no, as about Honum. Yes, so things have changed on the Ghana Premier League table, not at the top, but in the middle, where the likes of Vibiani Gold Stars, the likes of Medeama currently lie. So between Medeama and of course Samatex, Samatex have 46 points, and Medeama now have 36 points. So they are still within touching distance, Josiah.
That's 10 points.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to believe.
3 matches or 4 matches.
It's 4 matches, but you also don't expect Samatex to drop points, in 4 straight games. That's going to be very, very, I don't know.
But
strange.
mathematically.
No one say mathematically everyone is in contention.
Everyone is in contention.
But then
mathematically,
realistically,
yeah.
that's what we say.
Firm.
It's good for them to believe. Now, the good thing for Medeama is they do not have FA Cup to worry about. They do not have Africa to worry about. They solely have to, focus on the league. they are playing. And if they can consistently churn out, performances like this,
Mutala, the reason why I was laughing when he was making his submission was looking at Nswatreman. I think it is Nana Dakwa who once interviewed one of the Nswatreman centre backs, and he confidently said they are going to win the league.
Yeah,
this
that
season.
was a couple of weeks ago.
He said they were going to win the league.
Because they were flying high in the league and winning matches back to back.
He doesn't know that we have. It's not like a race. It's a marathon.
It's the second round that has actually not been too kind to them, but the first round saw them do well. So
look at the two brothers.
Hartlepool have been pushed to 11. Asante Kotoko, they are playing tomorrow, so they can still hold brief that should they win tomorrow, they would enter the top half of the league. But for Hartlepool, currently 11th on the table.
The landlords and the tenants had some great Olympics, the same points.
I'm sure the Phobian fans of Maninje, when they see where their team is lying at the moment. But I see all of them. Dreams FC have now fallen into the relegation zone, even though they have 2 outstanding games. They are currently 16th on the league log, with Hearts of Lions occupying 17th and Royal Tamale United occupying 18th, despite the fact that they won their game. But for the likes of Bofo Aquatano, now 15th, Karela 14th on the table with 30 points. Legon Cities are also 13th with 32 points. Great Olympics have 32 points and are 12 as well. But Hartlepool, Josiah, Omabetos 11th. Not good for them.
It looks bad for them, and I think they're only 4 points above the relegation.
And they are 7 points with the Hearts of Lions. And
that's 7 points. It's even the drop zone that's even, the 16th place team. They are just 4 points above the 16th place team. And this is the Dreams FC team that has 2 games in hand. So should they even win one, that will take them above. And it means at some point they might be just 3 points above Tanobo Fakwa. And this looks more like a deja vu, because last season they found themselves in such an unwanted situation, and it took a draw away at the Golden City Park against Bekum Chelsea, to help them to remain in the Premier League. And I don't think that's where they want to be. There's a team that 3 weeks ago, after I think match week 22 or so, they were talking about even challenging for the title, because they were just 9 points below the league leaders. And all of a sudden, after 3 games, that's why it's important to be winning games consistently, because every win counts. And that's the reason why you find Nations FC, you find Samatex over there competing for the ultimate, the coveted trophy.
And that is the beauty of the Ghana Premier League. 3 points are very important.
Very precious. And you can see just after these 8 games today, with the exception of the Kotoko Inter-Man game, you can see the movement on the table. Quite a couple of, a number of ups and downs for these teams. Some movements up. The Medeama, after that win, it's catapulted them to 5th place already. You can see the movements over there.
Okay, so let's go through all the final results that came through for match day 25. Bekum Chelsea came back to beat Dreams FC by 3-2. Baby Any Gold Stars also got a last-minute penalty and won the game by 3-2 against Karela, after Karela thought they had equalized and will be going back to the north with the point. But for Kwatano defeating Eviana by a goal to Great Olympics, also drawing 1-1 with Bechem United. Heart of Lions getting a 2-0 victory over Inform Accra Lions. And Legon Cities were held to a 1-1 draw by Samatex. Samatex were on the losing end, but they had to pull all their resources together to ensure they get a point there. Then Medeama also got a 2-0 victory over Heart of Oak. RTU also beating Nations FC by a goal to 0. So there was no home defeat in the Ghana Premier League in match day 25.
The midweek has been super.
But the fact that Kotoko would be playing in Swatema tomorrow. So the onus lies on Asante Kotoko
to continue
and yes, almost a record
with the home. But the shocking result for me, with all due respect to Royal Tamale United, I'm not talking about pedigree. I am talking about current form guide.
Okay.
Beating Nations FC, I think they've done something brilliant there. And Hearts of Lions themselves, beating Accra Lions, because Accra Lions themselves were flying. En route to this game, I think they were on a 4-match winning streak.
Yeah.
For Heart of Lions to put the break on it, especially at the Pando Park, is not shocking. Being a native of that town, I know how Lions play there. So it will be tough for you to grind our result there. Then you look at the match of the day, basically was the Bekum Chelsea Dreams. In the last 10 minutes, they brought something on board to be able to overturn the scoreline to win it by 3-2. So if you look at the permutations, you could tell that the league has been brilliant. It's been tough. We've seen 2 brilliant goals in Takwa, where Medeama beat Hearts of Oak. But RTU winning today against Nations, I think they've done something superb.
Okay, so quickly let's go through the next 5 games that the Phobians will be playing after losing 3 consecutive games. Their next game is at home at the Accra Sports Stadium against Karela United before they travel to face Legon Cities. Then they take on Accra Lions, so they will be playing in the Southern Zone for the next 3 weeks there. Then they go to Brekum Chelsea at the Golden City Park before they take on Aduana at home. Josiah, how many points do you think Hearts would amass from this?
They should be amassing 9 out of a possible 9. Mutala, Karela at home, Legon Cities away. Yeah, I think Legon Cities, they've been the boogie side of Hearts of Oak for some time.
They just held some attacks today, I think.
Even at home, but they've also not been convincing with their performance.
These days they play in the...
Yeah, it's not be convincing, but then I believe Hearts of Oak can, get 9 out. And it's a good thing that they are playing their next 3 games in Accra. It's good for them. Maybe they would. It's not that far from. Yes, it's not within the Greater Accra region though, but then it's also within
around
proximity. But then Karela at home, Accra Lions at home. This should be the turnaround for them. The last 3 games hasn't been good for them, and I don't think the fans will be so happy. But then it's still calm, within the fans. They believe that things will definitely turn around because they have faith in the coach. That's one thing that's keeping them going. They have so much faith in Abubakar Wata. They know he's the man taking them. But then the next 2 games, after the 3 games they've played around, will be at Brekum Chelsea and Aduana at home. Big game for them, that Brekum Chelsea game.
So these are the next 5 games that Hearts of Oak will be playing there. Karela, Legon Cities are in line for the Phobias. Then Medeama's next 5 games as well, they would also take on Legon Cities at home. So back-to-back home games for them. Then they go away to Brekum Chelsea before they play Asante Kotoko at home. Great Olympics away from home and Real Tamale United at home. So 3 home games, 2 away games for them, Francis.
Tough games for them. Legon Cities, they can easily navigate. Brekum Chelsea, it depends on the mood in which Brekum Chelsea and Mankuna and Co will be in before they will be confronted with Medeama in an away fixture at the Golden City. It will be tough for them to be able to grind the result there. Against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, yes, some time ago, a 2-guy and Co went there to win the game for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. With Kotoko themselves, I think this season in the league, they have gathered most number of points away from home in the league. So Kotoko are good travelers, especially when they have their Zimbabwean striker playing for them.
Their Ugandan striker, Stevie Mukwala.
Stevie Mukwala, he has been brilliant. He has got the most number of goals on the road in the league.
Yeah.
So if you look at what Kotoko have done against Medeama away, it will be tough for Medeama. Yes, but at the end of the day, it's great Olympics away in Accra. That will be tough for them. The Olympics themselves, when they are in the group, they make life extremely difficult.
Yeah,
Real Tamale United, they should be winning that one as well. So I think they will get 9 points out of their next 5 matches.
Okay, so that is the next 5 games that Medeama themselves will be playing, and they're not easy for them. But we're wrapping up quickly. Josiah, not easy for Hearts of Oak, but I'm sure the fans, as you said, they will be patient with Abubakar Watara, knowing that he started something brilliant, and they may see this as just a blip on the way.
It happens. It happens. They know, and sometimes in football there are rough patches. They do happen, but you need to stick together. And I think after the recent AGM, these fans will know that they know it's been clear to them, the direction of the club, where the club wants to be, a new secretariat, thinking about completing Pobiman, a new stadium for them, and all that. These are the things the club is thinking of. And yes, the fans are also thinking about the 3 points on the pitch. And their next game hopefully will be at the Accra Sports Stadium. But then I think they just need to be patient, rally their support, just rally behind the team, and I believe they will come good.
Okay, so this is why the Ghana Premier League is unique there, because 3 points can do a lot of good for teams that want to climb up the ladders. Chelsea, Man U, almost to me, we need 3 games to also know that baby but in the Ghana Premier League, 1 win can take you up there. 1 defeat can send you bottom of the league. But Francis, good game we witness. Tomorrow we are back here. Kotoko.
Yeah, Kotoko. But before we kick out of the studio, I would like to say good evening to my godfather, Mr. Joe Ivor of Homestars Football Club in Ho. This afternoon, they've also played their midweek games in the Division 1. And they've beat Susubibi Sporting Club at the Ho Sports Stadium by 2-1. I would like to say congratulations to Coach Adamu Sule and the lads that have done the job this evening for them. And yesterday we just signed a new contract with one of the betting companies as well. So we are in good hands. So I say good evening and well done. Keep the good job in the Volta region.
Of course, and also keep the good job that you're doing for Madagana, whoever is helping to ensure that our football will grow is also doing a great job. But the lines will be activated very soon. There you can call and share your thoughts and opinions on that hard to folk game that just went by and all the other games that were played in match day 25. And Asante Kotoko Ebebomodi, and they will be coming up against StarTimes. So call us. We have a few minutes to check out of the studio. 055 846 2088 055 846 2088. Fraying na Chewadri our match day 25 from Heart of Folk losing 3 consecutive games. It doesn't look good for them, and currently they've dropped to 11 on the table. Let's see how things will go with them there. But also Mikael and this is what makes it beautiful, Francis, especially when either Hartlepool or Asante Kotoko, when one loses a game and the other have a game the
other one
next
also
day.
tend to flop.
Yes, there seems to be some pressure that falls on them. I don't know.
You know, they always look at each other on the flip side, but if you look at the Hearts of Oak form on the table, it's just look, their last 3 matches lose. So back to the Kotoko stuff. Kotoko will need to win tomorrow because when they win, they will leapfrog Hearts of Oak on the league table, and probably I think they will even go above StarTimes on the league table as well. So everything is at stake for the Porcupine. You know that themselves, Coach Prosper Nati Ogum is under intense pressure.
A very
huge
much
pressure on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time Kotoko has won a game in the league. So I think
their last win came against Baby Gold
I think
Stars.
they've also lost their last 4 matches in the league on a bounce. Yeah. So they need to put their assets in order.
But they got a draw last week against Bichim United, and that is a positive sign for them.
It's a positive sign. I'm talking about playing at the Kumasi Sports Stadium. So it's tough for them, so they need to put things right. So
okay, so I'll come back to you. Your namesake has just called us, Francis from Kumasi. Francis, match day 25, Oshebi Yetio. Hello, Francis.
Hello.
Yeah, Francis, match day 25, you bought games no na akakwa tokoni StarTimes. What do you make of games now you bought?
Oh, let me have the media. Said it, and half your Lucy, the young
okay, yeah, that's a Francis or no Casafri Kumase. That your namesake or say the Tibia has a Lucy any day and don't quiet any German.
It's an added incentive to them, you know. It's like when House of Oak loses and your Kotoko wins, the fufu you can eat and eat and eat without even getting satisfied. So it's one of those things you understand. The problem is, like you rightly said, with Hearts and Kotoko, when one person drops the point, another team is supposed to pick it up. The other also goes to play it, let me use the local language, through car, just like that. You understand? So Kotoko, they have to guard themselves because tomorrow I don't think there's room for error. They don't have much more room for error in this league. Because Coach Prosper Nati Ogum is under intense pressure to grind out results for them.
So let's go to Jolu and speak to Benjamin as well. Ben, match day 25 of the Ghana Premier League. What is saying? Hello, Ben.
Hello.
Yeah, Ben. Match day 25 has Akolusu 3 consecutive defeats. What is saying?
Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon.
Me too.
The better, but the better mechanic say, coach, you know, have assistant coach in the car be, or see we, I'm a call a referee, no, our dressing room or honor some motivation on a monkey year.
That is what he alleged. So the match reports, we would actually see whether it is true because so we would have to get the match report from the match commissioner and the referee to report to actually know say so.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
has losing I may have lose you the other swimmers by a bomb pass be for year.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So that is Benjamin. They're calling us from Jowulu as well. I mean, Josiah, it seems Hearts and Kotoko are also playing their own league. They can lose sight of the Premier League and be competing amongst themselves as to Mapa. We are home. But tomorrow, does this Heart of Folk defeat Power Pressure on Asante Kotoko?
But I don't think this game has any bearing on tomorrow's game between Kotoko and Insuachaman, because Hearts have problems of their own. Kotoko are also facing their own problem. Yes, you could say they are in their own mini league. At some point back, they were 7th and 8th. At some point, they were 8th and 9th. Today, they are 10th and 11th. You know, they keep doing this. It's nice. Maybe for their fans, some of them will look at this and take solace from it. You know, but then I don't think Kotoko are really struggling now. In their last 5 games, they've picked up just 1 point out of an available, a possible 15, which is just not good for them.
There's pressure.
There's so much pressure on them. So I don't think they even have sight, or they are looking at this Hearts-of-Oak defeat. I think they are just worrying about themselves and how tomorrow they can just go there, and just ease off some of the pressure that's on them. Because you saw that game at Bechem United when they've traveled to the Fosu Chabo Park.
So I'll come back to you. Let's go to Ho and speak to Kofi. Kofi, we are sure when Heart of Lions won their game in match day 25. Nyamiado meet you.
Yeah. Football na ya yobono ya muni wa kukulen kasa atani so mye no bia ya na ya pa because atani so muse wa pisu fast bia wa mujem nye ne kwam eti asam team bi no nti that start time for mo ya de pa nyami stram na ya from my prepare sa ne nyam me ya koto supporter pa ocha ibe wini 2-0 mo de mo pa mo mark we bia okay has the super na koto kosto That was it. Bye-bye.
Yes, so that's it. But again, back to the issue. I was asking if there will be pressure on the Porcupines.
I think you traveled 3 games back when Hearts lost, to Samatex. I think Kotoko lost in that week.
Yeah.
Hearts lost again to Gold Stars, and I think that was when they
got a draw against Bechem United.
I'm just saying this, that Kotoko's win tomorrow is not dependent on the fact that Hearts-of-Oak, has dropped point today. They both have problems of their own, and both teams are just thinking about, yes, it's the fans that would want to see the other go down as they try to, pick up points. And tomorrow, a win for Kotoko will be huge for them, especially for the psyche and the confidence of these players, because they are playing as if there's nothing at stake for them. And where they find themselves is not where Kotoko usually find themselves. It's a position where they've not been for a long time now. And tomorrow they just have to go out there and just put this defeat behind and just try.
Okay, so Abu is from Koforidua, calling us from Koforidua. Abu, match day 25 has losing the likes of Heart of Lions. Anything?
Match no. Yeah, I did a first half of the but second half of the day, but Hearts is team Nangas me. Mumma, a person to go, Mumma to go, action to say. So when you are coming. Your friend is older than your home free war. And your house, no buckle, so Sana me who know. And yes, Sana me, maybe say, and yet, but you say, and control you or one more, or Mutas uncle for what a shetama or good your friend is in board. On say no movie, for this Zoom board now, this I mean, not Saka home. Shed the echo. Me, my do not make it know. But me. But the
now, say Alaji Akambi is not part of the board. Okay, Abu Yedase, Abu Freya from Koforidua there. So on your screens, it's how hard to consider. We're still picking 1 or 2 calls before we check out of the studio. But big blow to Nations FC. Samatex, at least they got a draw back to Insetre. I'm sure among the 3 teams who are chasing for the title, they will be the happiest. So, points.
Yeah, they have added 1 more positive point to their tally. They are 46 as against Nations 42, I think.
43, yeah.
So that's 3 points, 1 game on top of Nations FC. So it's up there for both of them to play for. It's the ultimate games that they have to play now. You understand? So it's the one that will pick the maximum and be consistent on the road.
Consistency.
Yes, because both Nations and Samatex, their home grounds are fortresses. If you go, they'll beat you. It's a den. So it's the one that will manage to pick some vintage points on the road that will have a proper say. Because in awkward matches like the one Samatex were confronted with today, they managed to get a point. If you are not winning the 3 maximum points, you should manage to get one. Half a loaf is better than none. And if they keep picking those odd points and Nations keep dropping, then it will be a problem. But with Kasim Mingo, with all his experience in this game, Currently, he's the longest serving coach in the
so
league.
let me go on to the lines and speak to Emmanuel, who is actually monitoring us from UK. Emma, we thank you. We are very grateful for you calling in. What do you make of the games that were played, especially the Hearts game?
I think it was a good game. Hearts gave a good account of themselves, but they lost to a better side, Medeama. I think in the second half, the way Medeama played, they were more compact, they were more purposeful. And I wasn't surprised that they lost. They won against Hazard. I'm a Kotoko fan, but I think it was a good game. Our game is developing. With this kind of approach from both clubs, I think our game will get somewhere.
Okay. Now, what do you make of Kotoko's recent form? They have played 5 games in the Premier League and just gotten 1 point.
I think Kotoko's performance has been quite woeful. It's been bad. We are hoping that tomorrow against Insuacheman they can make amends and be right, come out and with flying colors. I think Ogum needs to vary his tactics a bit and try to put more experienced players on the field of play. Other than that, it's going to be like how we've been in for the past 4 or 5 games that we've not been able to win. Their match against the Chim, I think our goalkeeper, Danlad, having to be the captain of the team, actually saved us. I'm hoping that Danlad will be in post and have Mokwala scoring for ourselves. We're monitoring up here. Okay. I always monitor Match TV. You people do well with good play and post analysis, and I think the Ghana Premier League is actually going a long way.
Okay. Thanks very much, Ima, from all the way from UK. But you're live on StarTimes Adepa channel 247. So I'm sure the entire nation has heard you there. So that is Ima monitoring from UK there. I mean, Ghana Premier League global. You do it today.
It's on the app. It's on the app. Yeah. You go online, you pay your subscription.
You remember Samuel who used to work for 442? He's always
He's in the UK now.
Yeah, he's in the UK now.
He's always online.
He's always watching StarTimes. The PR Samuel is watching StarTimes. So that is it. I don't know if we can pick a few calls, at least 1 or 2 before we check out of the studio. But again, question that maybe Sir Francis, I'll ask you the same thing. Josiah, the biggest beneficiary up there would be Samatex not losing today's game.
Obviously, when you go away from home and you come home with a point, Mutala is a good job done. As compared to those who return home with nothing to show for. At least 1 point, and that even gives them more space, breathing space up there because they know difference. And they also have 3 points more than nations.
So you, I'm sure you are super excited. But you watch Match Day 25, what do you make of it?
Thank you very much.
Okay, Yentio.
He's not talking into the phone. Guys, not there.
Okay, that's it. He's talking about the fact that Hartlepool give too much room to their opponent to possess the ball, and they do not press as he would have wished. I don't know, but that is what he thinks there. But it has been a good one. Thanks to my guest, Francis Aboibo Blackgate. Always a pleasure to have you. And also my colleague, Josiah Okokwe. And to you at home, for always choosing StarTimes and doing the watching Ghana Premier League in Maka. We are all contributing our quota to ensure that Ghana football gets to the standard that it deserves. My name is Mutalai Akubu. We are back tomorrow for that big one that Asante Kotoko will be playing against Nswateman at the Baba Sports Stadium. 5 p.m. near to the gym, the OBI, the Bebro, Yamenka, on show. Back at the Salah to all Muslims. Echna, Yenshiawa, bye bye.